Okay, fantastic. All right. So why are you here today? Somebody said to learn. Okay. Why are you here today? So three people are typing. So let's see your responses as well. Why are you here today? Let me know. Upskill. Fantastic. Okay, someone else. I think some other people have said to learn. That's why you'd see to learn. Um, to learn, you know, being very big. Okay. Okay, Matplotlib, Seaborn. Okay, Tableau, fantastic, interested. Okay, so let's keep our responses coming for the next 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so why are you here today? What do you want to achieve at the end of today's session? What do you want to achieve at the end of today's session? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know why you want to be here today. So majority of the people are saying to learn. Okay, to learn and delve into tech. Absolutely fantastic. Upskill. Great. To source. Okay, fantastic. Open. Upskill. Okay, somebody's still typing. Okay, to learn. Tableau. Great. To know about to know what data analytics entails. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Great one, guys. So I'll just go ahead and stop the poll for now. Okay, I'll stop the poll for now. And today what we are going to be doing is very simple. Somebody saying I can't hear anything. Okay, I think my team member will be on board too. I believe we cannot hear me. Confirm once again before I put my foot to the metal. All right. So confirm you can hear me, guys. Confirm one more time that you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. I can hear you. Okay. Thank you very much, Onyechi. Okay. Taiwo Ayokunle. Fantastic. Great. So I'll go ahead and start. Some of us said that we're joining analytics for the very first time. And I'll go ahead and tell you what we do. But today, the main cream of the crop that we are going to be, hovering about today is me walking you through on how to build your very first Tableau report. All right. I'll walk you through on how to build your very first Tableau report. And for those of us who are joining us our session for the very first time, okay, welcome to Tenalytics. All right, welcome to Tenalytics. And Tenalytics is an edtech firm. All right. And what we are passionate about is helping people of the Black community, people that look like me, to get into the tech space. So on a global scale, when you look at the tech ecosystem, which I've been opportune to also be into, you'd notice that there are just a handful of Black people in the space. In fact, most of the teams that I've worked with, especially on the global scale, I'm either the only Black person in the room, or we are just a handful of Black people throughout the entire organization. All right. So, in a bid to increase our representation in that space, in the tech space, that is exactly why analytics exists. And what we do is we offer premium training programs across several different tech career paths: data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, cybersecurity, as well as AI engineering. Okay. And over over the course of our existence, we've been able to help more than 2,000 participants transition into their very first tech job across the globe. And we do this by bringing on board, state of the art and the best tech professionals in the world. Tech professionals who work with, conglomerates like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar Land Rover, and the list goes on and on. And how you learn from these people is, just like what we'll be doing today, you'd see how we'll go about it today. All right. So these professionals bring on board their own experience, and you learn to use the tools and technologies, that are pertaining to the career path you choose. You learn those tools by learning from the experience of a professional. And that's the best way to learn. Okay, and that's what we do here at Analytics. And today, I'm super honored to be your host. Okay, and I'll be your moderator as well. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'm a senior data associate here at Analytics. And my job here is very simple. Okay, I'm here to make it as easy as possible for people like you to get into the tech space as easily possibly as we possibly can. Okay, and I have over half a decade of industry experience cutting across both data analytics and data science. And I'm experienced using quite a number of tools. And this has allowed me to train, close on 2,000 participants and even help, a huge chunk of them get jobs in the tech ecosystem. All right. So I'm also a LinkedIn top data visualization top voice, and I've had the opportunity to also work with Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of the largest luxury car brands based in Italy, and they used to be a sister organization with Ferrari back in until about 2016, when Ferrari became a standalone organization themselves. Right? And I also transitioned into the tech space, just like you are looking to transition. So I had my first degree in mechanical engineering. Okay, mechanical engineering. I even did, I have so much mechanical engineering experience that I even fix cars up till today. But I've been able to switch to becoming a data analyst, a data scientist, just like you are trying to achieve. Okay, and that is exactly why people like us are in the best place to help you make that switch at the end of the day. And speaking about helping people get jobs, these are just some of the people I've personally worked with to help land a job in the tech space. I worked with Ikmat. Ikmat was a full-time stay-at-home. Okay, was out of job for about, I think, 4 years, and she was able to get back into the space by joining our data analytics program. And I'd love to play one of their videos so that you hear from them directly. Okay, so you think about the three of them that you can see on my screen, and when we come back here, you tell me which of them you would love to hear from. Okay, which of them you would love to hear from. So now let me go straight into what we're going to be doing today, so you have it in mind. Okay, we won't be wasting any time. We'll go straight into it, and I'll also tell you, you also see for yourself what you'll be gaining from today's session. So the very first thing we'll look at is we'll build your first Tableau report. Under my guidance, you build your first Tableau reports, and then we'll go into how you can get started as a data analyst. So if you want to become a data analyst, you want to, break into the tech space through the data analytics career path, how exactly should you go about that? Okay, then we'll go into our upcoming data analytics program in June, and I'll talk more about how you can enroll for that particular program. And for those of us who stick till the end, okay, like I said, I'm going to try to be as quickly as possible, not to waste any time. Okay, but for those of you who are going to be staying till the end, there are some special offers and discounts awaiting you. Okay, fantastic one. So let's get started, guys. Let's get started. So I want to believe if you have, so some of us would have already, maybe installed Tableau. You would have already installed Tableau on your PC, and you're ready to go. So if you are among that particular bracket, just type a one. You've installed Tableau, you have it running on your system, and you are ready to go. Just type a one in the chat, so I have a sense of who have installed. And even if not, type a zero. If you've installed, type a one. If you've not installed, type a zero in the chat. And rest assured, whichever bracket you fall under, you'll be able to follow me today. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I can see some zeros. Okay, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So what I've done, okay, so I saw this coming. So what I've done is I've included, in a slide, in the slides, how you need to download Tableau. So you can see this link here. There is a link here which I've provided here, and you'd all you need to do is to click the link, click on download Tableau, and follow the prompts. Okay, so you get the slides immediately after this particular session. Okay, you get the slide immediately after the session, provided that you stay till the end and you fill in the attendance form. So if you look into the chart right about now, you'd see a form being posted by my colleague Lydia from Lydia at Analytics. So Lydia at Analytics posts the attendance, and all you need to do is to click on the form while we work together, and you'd see exactly you'll be able to get access to all the materials for today's session, including the data sets. Okay, so so for those of us that don't have Tableau installed yet, okay, all you need to do is when you get this link, I'll just show you. I'll show you what you need to do. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'll cut out the link. So just put it in the chat for those of us who want to, who would love to, for those of us who would love to, okay, so that's it. So that's the link in the chat. Okay, so you can just open it up in another tab, and that helps you to download. That takes you to the page where you need to download Tableau. So just a quick one, yeah, a quick one, just to show you how it looks like. So once you click on the link, okay, you get this page. I believe you can all see my screen. Once you click on the link, you get this page. All you need to do is to click on download Tableau Public and enter your information, and you'll be able to download the app. Okay, you'll be able to download the app. I also have a video, included in the slide, which you can watch alongside. And all you need to do is to come to this link, enter in your details, okay, and you will be able to download the app. Okay, so you click on download, and that downloads the app for you. All right, so it's pretty much simple. You can see it only takes 15 seconds to fill it out, and you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and look at what we have for today. Okay, what exactly we have for today. So 1 second to present my screen once again. So if you look at what we have for today, all right. So we are going to be looking at a case study. All right, we're going to be looking at a case study, and the company we are working with today is called Gelco Products. All right, so this is an organization that they are well known for, retailing diverse consumer goods. So they have a lot of consumer goods ranging from books to toys to electronics, and the list goes on and on. And their major operations is in the US. Okay, it's in the US. And one of the biggest struggles of the organization, what are we downloading? So if you are just joining us, all you need to do, whether you're just joining us or you already do not have Tableau installed, I've included all the things you need to do in the slide, and all you need to do today is watch me do it, and you'll be able to replicate it. You'll get a recording of the slide, of today's session. You'll get the slide, including the data set I'm using for today. Okay, do well to fill in the attendance form. Okay, in the chat, you'd see Lydia at Analytics posting the attendance form. So do well to fill it in so that you can get all the materials that we have for today. But I want you to still participate. Watch as I do it. Let's solve the problem together. We're going to be creating a solution for Gelco products together today, and that's going to be your first Tableau report. So now, I'm talking about Gelco products, and I said that they engage in, retailing a diverse consumer goods from books to electronics, the list goes on and on, jewelries and all that. And they are majorly operating in the US. Okay. But one of the things they've struggled with, especially last year, was, utilizing their data, the data are around their transactions, utilizing the data, to make meaningful decisions. So now, one of the things that they want you to do today is you want to create a Tableau dashboard, and they want you to make it dynamic. They want you to make it dynamic, okay, so that it analyzes their sales data. So they have a data set, and I'll show you what the data set looks like. Okay, they have a data set, a sales data set, and they want you to, look at the performance of certain product categories. They want you to look at sales across the different regions that they currently operate within the US, and they want you to look at this between January and July of the year 2023, last year. Okay, and they also want you to assess customer preference. Okay, assess customer preference. So these are the things that we are going to be looking at today. Okay, and we'll do that together. And what would arrive at is something like this. We're going to arrive at something like this. Okay, where you'd see the total number of transactions, the trend of sales from January to July. You'd also see, popular products and, the distribution of their sales performance across the different locations. Okay, we'll build this together today. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. Are you ready? Are you ready? It may look very complex right now, but it is simple. And when I start, you'd see that it is dead easy to come up with this. Okay, okay. If you are just joining us, welcome on board. Today, we're going to be building this in a nutshell together. You build this together, and I'll tell you how you can also acquire the skills to build this. All right. And if you don't have the tool that you need that I'll be using today, which is Tableau, already installed, don't worry. I've included all the links to the website and the video you need to watch to help you install Tableau on your PC correctly. And once you do that, you'd get a recording of today's session, and you'll be able to do every single thing that I will be doing today. Okay, but you would get a recording if and only if you fill in the attendance form in the chat posted by Lydia at Analytics. So do well to fill in that particular attendance form, and you can then relax, sit back, and let's work together and let's dissect the data. Okay, so like I said, I've already included. If you click here, it takes you to the data set, and you'll be able to download it with it as well. So I'll just go ahead and fetch the link to the data sets. Now let me fetch it just in case you want to have it in files. You want to have it in your files, okay? Or you already have Tableau and you want to, so you can go ahead and download that. Okay, fantastic. So that is the link to the data set. Okay, so but like I said, I want you to concentrate on my screen, and let's do this together. Okay, let's do this together. Right. So now I'll go ahead and open Tableau. So if you already have Tableau installed, all you need to do is to go to your search bar and type in Tableau. So I have Tableau installed. All I need to do is to click on it to open. Okay, click on Tableau to open it. I'll click on Tableau to open up Tableau. All right, so Tableau is opening up. Okay, so I have Tableau opened up. So this is Tableau. Okay, when you open up Tableau, this is the first screen you see. All right, this is the first screen you would see. All right, but let's take a look at the data set. So if you click on that link that I posted in the chat, this is the copy of the data set. Okay, this is a copy of the data set. And all you need to do to download it is to simply click on the download icon. I'll click on the download icon, and that downloads the data set for me. Okay, that downloads a copy of the data set for me. Easy peasy. All right, please, the volume is low. I want to believe we cannot hear me loud and clear. That's my belief. Can we hear me loud and clear? Please confirm once again that you can hear me loud and clear before I proceed. Okay, fantastic. So, Uchechi, you want to check your device's volume. Okay, you want to check the volume of your device or your network. Okay, yes, now. Okay, fantastic, great. So now, let me open up the data. Let me go to my downloads and open up the data set so you see how it looks. So I'll open up the data set in Excel. So let's first get ourselves familiarized with the data. So you see what it entails. So I'll just go ahead and close all of this. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the data together. So if you look at the data, I believe you can all see my screen. If you look at the data set, the very first thing you'd see is the date in which the transaction, occurred, the product category where the actual product that was bought, fell into, and then you also have payment method. So how did the customer pay? And then you have, unit price, okay, which is the price of 1 unit of the product that was purchased, and then quantity, what quantity of that particular product was purchased, and then the revenue, also known as sales, that is determined by multiplying the unit price by the quantity. Okay, so one product costs this. If 5 of that product was bought, how much would it cost? It's simply you multiplying these two together to get this. And that was how sales, came about. And then we have the location where that transaction happened. The location where the transaction happened. So after understanding this now, all we need to do is to close this. I'll close this up. Okay, close this up. So it's asking me if I want to save. I'll just click on don't save. Okay, and go back to Tableau. So now, guys, when you open Tableau for the very first time, okay, where you want to direct your gaze to is on the left-hand side. You see, it says connect, connect, connect. So Tableau can connect to multiple data sources. Okay, you can connect to a Microsoft Excel file, you can connect to text file, JSON file, Microsoft Access file, even PDF files. Okay, you can connect to a variety of files. But how do we know which of these we are connecting to? So I'll just quickly take you back to my downloads, and I want you to look at this. I want you to look here. This is the file I want to connect to. Okay, this is the file I wanted to connect to. I want to connect to, which is Gelco transaction data set. Okay, and if you look at the type, I want you to look here very closely. You'd see Microsoft Excel, separated value file. Microsoft Excel, separated value file. Now, this kind of file is also called a CSV file, separated value. It's called a CSV file or text file. Text file. You can see me typing it in the chat. It's known as text or CSV. Text or CSV. That's the kind of file type. So depending on the interface you are, they have different names. So now, since I said that, that CSV is Microsoft Excel CSV file, is also known as a text or CSV file. What would I choose here? What do you think I should choose here from these options to connect to a file? What option should I choose here? What option should I choose there? Type it in the chat. Let me see. What option should I choose? Okay, somebody says Microsoft. Okay, Charles says text file. Text file. Okay, fantastic. So now, because I said that, that file that I showed you is a CSV file, comma separated value file. Let me show you one more time. This is a comma separated value file, not a Microsoft Excel workbook file. You have, if you look at this particular one, let me show you this. This is Flex Trade. I want you to look at this. Flex Trade. If I hover my mouse here, you see Microsoft Excel worksheets. That is a Microsoft Excel file. Okay, but wherever you see Microsoft Excel, comma separated value file, it is a CSV file. And I said that a CSV file is known as a text or a CSV file. Okay, some people call it text file, some people call it CSV file. So it means that we are going to be connecting to a text file. So I'll click on text file. So the moment I click on text file, Tableau would go to my files, okay? You can see currently it's in downloads, okay? Currently it's in downloads. So if it's not in downloads, I can click on downloads, which is where the Gelco transaction data set I downloaded found. So you'd see that it brings Gelco transaction data set out. It's going to bring out only CSV files. And you can see TXT, CSV, TAB. These are all text files. And you can see CSV as part of it. So all I need to do is to click on Gelco transaction dataset and click on Gelco transaction dataset and simply click on open. And I sit back. And Tableau does the rest for me. Okay, so Tableau connects to Gelco transaction dataset. And if you look at the bottom right area of my screen, which is where I want you to direct your gaze to, you notice something that looks like my data set, the data set I just showed you guys a couple of moments ago. Can we all see that? You see that I have my dates column. I have the dates column. Okay, I also have the product category. Okay, fantastic. I have the payment method. I have the unit price. I also have quantity. I have sales, and then the location. Fantastic. And one thing I also want you to take note of here is, if you notice here, on the top left corner of each column, you'd see the data type. Data type. So this is showing something that looks like a calendar. Can you see that icon there? Can you see my screen, guys? Can you see that icon? It's showing a calendar, okay? You can see a calendar data type, okay? Meaning that's a date data type. Here it's showing me ABC. ABC simply means text. ABC simply means text, all right? Text. So this also is telling me ABC, text data type. So Tableau looks at the first few rows in a column, and it determines what data type to assign to that column when it connects to the data. So Tableau is intelligent enough to detect the data type. You can see quantity is also um, in hash. Hash is for number, okay, numerical. These are numerical values, okay, for this column. And then you have location. Guys, I want you to look closely here. You have location in this column, and location is in text, okay? Location is in text. Now, if you look at the values, let me scroll down, just, look at the first few values. You have Florida, FL, California, CA, Georgia, GA, Florida, FL, and so on. These are all states in the US, correct? These are all states in the US: Texas, Illinois, Florida, Ohio, Michigan, and the likes. Guys, do we agree with me? Type a yes in the chat if you do agree. These are states in the US. Fantastic, great. So, but it's one challenge we may face, okay, in future is we might not be able to. We want to see this as a map. We want to use this information to create a map visual, spatial visualization within Tableau. But the way it is now, you can see it has combined the name of the states in US with the state code. So one thing I'll first do is this. I'll do two things. I'll split the column to show me just the state and the code. And then I would then change the state, the new state column that I'll split from this now. I'll change the title of that to state. Let's do that together. And it's very simple. How do you split a column? Simply right click on the column, right click on the column, and you see split. Split. And Tableau is intelligent enough. It looks at where the comma, which is the separator in that particular column is, and split by that comma automatically. So click on split, and once you click on split, okay, you'll notice something rolled a bit just now. But this is where I want you to direct your gaze. I'll then scroll to the right, and you notice that it has splitted the location column into two columns. Location split and location split one and location split two. Can we see that? It was not originally in the data set. Okay, it was created from split. Can we all see this now? Can we all see that? Can we see this now? Guys, can we see that? Can we see that? Fantastic. Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you. I think that's Dorothy, Wenyechi. Fantastic. Great. So now what I'll do next, okay, is to change this column to state, the title to state, and change this to state code. Okay, so I'll double click on the column name. I'll double click on the column name, and that allows me to type. So I'll type in state here. Okay, hit enter. And then I'll also come here and double click and type in state code and hit enter. Okay, state and then state code. And I am done here. Okay, except for one more step. Okay, except for one more step. Now, so that I'm able to use this state, so Tableau is able to plot this state on a map, I need to change it from a mere text data type to a location or geographical data type. And how do you do that in Tableau? Very simple. All I need to do is to click on the data type, the ABC. Okay, I click on the ABC, and you see the option for geographic role, geographic role, geographic role. And all you need to do is to select state/province, state. So this is me telling Tableau that, look, the information you have here, they are states. That helps Tableau to recognize the actual states by their name, by their names, all right? So after having done all of this, all I need to do is to look at the left-hand side, left bottom side of my screen. Can you see sheet one? Sheet one, just like in Excel, if I use Microsoft Excel, Excel has sheets. It's very similar. Tableau also. Tableau has sheets also, okay? So all I need to do is to click on sheet one. I click on sheet one. Click on sheet one. All right? So after I click on sheet, what happens? Where I want you to look at, guys, is on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side. Look at the left-hand side. Now, what you notice is that Tableau has splitted my table or my data set into two parts. Tableau has splitted my data set into two parts. You can see this line. Can you see that line dividing? You know, there's an upper part and then there's a lower part below the line. Can we see that right here? You see that? Great, fantastic. So why is that line existing? Everything above the line is considered as, you know, a text-based data. Okay, in technical terms, they are called categorical data. Okay, but they are largely text-based. So those ones will be up. While the ones below are largely, you know, numerical-based data type or measures. They are called measures. Okay, measures or numerical data type. All right, that's what they are called. Now, The very first thing we want to, and this is what we'll be using to, create all our visuals, like the way I have it here. Okay, just like I have it here, we'll create this from all those information that I just showed you now. So the very first thing we want to do is to, let's look, count how many transactions actually occurred in the data set. I beg your pardon, guys. All right. So um, the very first thing I would love to show you is that you notice that the numerical data that I have in my data set originally were about three, correct? They were not this much. There were about maybe three in total: quantity, sales, and unit price, right? So where did all this come from? Where did all this come from? Okay, where did all this come from? That's the question. Now, what Tableau does for you is Tableau tries to make your job easy for you as a data analyst. So it comes up with some generated measures or calculations, and you can use that in your analysis straightforward. We're not going to be doing any manual calculation. We'd use the generated calculation. Now, if you look at this particular one, it says Gelco transaction data data set. And when I hover my mouse on it, I would want you to read through what it says. I'll read through what it says. It says it says a generated field that counts the number of records in the Gelco transaction data set. So my data set has records. When I say records, I mean the rows of my data set, the rows of my data set. So each row in my data set is a record. So a transaction, the information concerning a transaction is recorded line by line. So the first transaction, what day did it happen? What product category did that transaction fall in? The price, the sale, and all that. Okay. So what Tableau has done for me is to count how many transactions happened given the data set. So it means that I do not need to count. I do not need to manually, determine how many. All I need to do is to use this. How do I use it? Tableau is all about drag and drop. Tableau is all about drag and drop. So this is your worksheet here. You can see it says drop field here, drop field here, drop field here. So it's all about drag and drop. Whatever I want to see, I drag and drop it in here. And that's I would see it. It's as simple as that. So I want to see how many transactions happened. All I need to do is to come here to Gelco transaction data set. That's the generated measure. I drag it and drop it in here. And you can see before I release it, it's showing show me. So I'll drop it in there and you see a very small 200. 200, meaning there were 200 transactions that happened in this particular data set. Altogether, guys, 200 transactions happened in this data set. Okay? Are we together? Are we together, guys? 200 transactions. Okay? 200 transactions. Fantastic. And all I need to do is fantastic, great. If you look at this particular area, it says standard. This is how I want this to look like. So it says standard currently. This is the standard view. All I need to do is to click on the drop down and click on entire view. Entire view. I click on entire view. Once I click on entire view, that information takes the whole space, it takes the whole sheet. And you can see 200 somewhere here. 200, you can see it somewhere here. Okay, a bit tiny. So what I'll do is I'll quickly format this. I'll make it a bit bolder, and I want transactions to happen to come beside it. So not just 200, but 200, then beside it, I'll have transactions. So that anybody looking at my report knows that, oh, I'm saying I had 200 transactions. How do I do that? Very simple. Very simple. Now, when you want to format, you want to change the size of an object that you have on your sheet, or you want to, add some things, you want to change colors and all. you want to come to your marks card. These are cards here. Okay, can you see where I have marks, marks, marks? Can we see where my mouse is, guys? It says marks. That's my marks card. That's why I come to do any editing that I want to do. Okay, and that's exactly where I'll do it now. So what I have here, all right, is you can see it says text, you have color, you have size, text, detail, tooltip. Okay, what I want to click on is text because 200 is in form of a text here. So I'll click on text. Okay, I'll click on text to allow me to format the text. And you notice in here, you know, is you see text here. So all I need to do is to click on these three dots. I'll click on these three dots. Okay, I'll click on that, and this is my text. Okay, that's measure, this calculated measure, the count of Gelco transaction data set that Tableau counted for me. Okay, I would highlight it because you want every change that you make, every editing that you make to this, you want it to have an effect on this. That's why you are highlighting. If you don't highlight it and you change the size and all that, it would not apply to this. So before you change the the sizes or anything, you need to highlight. So I've highlighted all of that. I'll increase the size to about, say, 26 or thereabout. Okay, I can change the font style to Tableau bold, so it makes it a bit bold. Okay, and all I need to do is apply. Click on apply. Once you click on apply, you'd see the change. You see this is a lot bigger now. Can we see that? It's a lot bigger now. Can we all see that? It's a lot bigger and clear. It's a lot bigger now. Sure, we can all see that. Great. So the very next thing I would do is to add, I want to add transactions to the side. Yeah, I want to add transactions. So because I want transaction to appear, everything here now, everything here, all these things I've highlighted represents 200. So to add transaction beside 200, all I need to do is to type in transaction here. So I bring my cursor there and type transaction. Okay, and then I click on apply, and you see 200 transaction. Fantastic. I'm still not satisfied. I want to make the transaction a bit smaller so it does not overshadow the numbers themselves. So I would highlight transaction and only transaction now that I'm highlighting, and then I'll reduce the font size to maybe 10 or maybe 11 or so. Okay, 11. Click on apply. Fantastic. And this looks more like it 200 transaction. Let's make it transactions, 200 transactions. Okay, let's apply it. 200 transactions. Okay, and then I click on OK. I click on OK. But I want this to be at the center. Okay, let it be at the center. Okay, let it be at the center. So to do that, you can see the alignment here. Alignment, I'll click on drop down beside automatic, and I'll click on this center here, horizontal center. Let it be center, horizontally. I want it to be somewhere here, not here. So I'll click on this center icon, and that brings it to the center. Okay. Now, once I've done this, all I need to do, okay, all I need to do is we are done with the transactions. We've done, we've said 200 transactions. So the next thing I'll do is to create another sheet, okay, so that I can create another visualization. So at the bottom right here, you can see sheet one, okay, sheet one. So all I need to do is to create another sheet called sheet two. So for this sheet one, let's rename it first off. To rename it, I'll double click on it, and let's rename it to transaction so that I'll know that, oh, my transactions are here. Okay, to transactions. And to create another sheet, all I need to do is to click on this icon that says new worksheet. So I click on that, you see it's sheet two. Sheet two. Okay, that is sheet two. So in sheet two, let's look at let's have a look at the popular products. Okay, the popular products. So now what I need to do is this. Again, remember, Tableau is all about drag and drop. Drag and drop. So all I need to do is very simple. You see product category here. Okay, I would drag it and drop it in rows. You can drop it in column or rows, whichever one you want. Okay, I'll drop it in rows for now. And then I'll take sales. I'll take sales from here, drag it and drop it in columns. Drag it and drop it in columns. And you'll notice that for each product category, there is a bar representing how much, how much sales, is attributed to each of those product categories. Now, if I ask you which product category is the top selling, what will be your answer? From what you can see on my screen, what will be your answer? What will be your answer? Which product? Books, fantastic. But it's not looking all right. Okay, let's just the way we formatted our transaction sheet, let's format this as well. So to format this now, again, I'll change it from standard view to entire view So it takes up all the space in the sheet. Okay, while I have these labels, product category and sales, I'll take them out. Okay, I'll take them out. How do I do that? I right click on product category here, and click on hide label for rules. Okay, and I right click on sales here also, and I uncheck show header. So that goes away. Now, what I need to do next is, since I've taken out this axis, all I need to do is I would add the sales as a label so that the sales shows, the amount shows exactly here. To do that, all I need to do is to drag sales and drop it in label. I'll drag sale and drop it in label here. And that would show me, show it to me as a label here. But if I drag sales from here, it would leave this position. So in order to just, sort of like create a duplicate before I drag it, I'll hold my control key on my keyboard and then drag. You notice that it's like creating a ghost of it. It's like dragging its soul out of it. So I'm not pulling out sales there. I'm actually dragging a copy of it, and then I drop it in label. Once I drop it in label, you then see it appear here. Can we all see that, guys? You see it appear here. Can we all see this? You see it appear here now, 70K, 39, over 39,000, and so on and so forth. So, but let's put the dollar sign in front of each of the sale. Okay, let's put the dollar sign since the transactions happen in the US. Let's put the dollar sign. To do that, all I need to do is where I have sale here, you can see the label sign. You can see the label sign showing. The label sign showing on sales, meaning that sales is in label here. That's why the label sign icon is showing here. All I need to do is to right click on some sales here, and I'll click on format. Click on format. Once you click on format, all you need to do is you come here where you have numbers, where you can see my mouse, numbers. You click on the drop down and select currency custom, so that it changes the numbers to currency format. So I'll click on that. Okay, and you can see it's asking me the number of decimal places. By default, it puts 2 decimal places, but I don't need the decimal place. Okay, I don't need the decimal place. So I would, reduce the decimal place to 0. So not to worry, Vivian, you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so we are working with time for this particular session. That is why, I've said at the beginning of the session that, look, all you need to do is sit back and watch exactly how Tableau works. Okay, and let's look at the analysis together as well. The materials you need to replicate all of these things I'm going to be doing today will be sent to you as long as you fill in the attendance form. Okay, the link for you to also download the data set and everything would be there. Okay, the labeling is confusing you. All right, great, fantastic. So what I did was very simple. I'll do it again. I'll do that again. This is sales. Okay, this is sales. All right. So all you need to do is to hold your control key and drag sales. Hold your control key and drag sales to label here, label, so that it shows the sale price as, just like how I have it here now. It shows it on top of each bar because I had already removed it from here. So I want to show it on each of the bars. So do you understand that now? That's how I got the labels in here. Okay. So all you need to do afterwards, all right, All you need to do afterwards is let's show this from the highest to the lowest, the highest to the lowest. And all you need to do to show these bars from the highest to the lowest is to click a simple button. If you look here, can we all see this button? Can we all see this button here where my mouse is? Can you see that button? Can you see this button? Can we all see this button? That is the button for you to arrange from highest to lowest. You can see how the button looks like. So it's going to arrange your bars from highest to lowest. This other one arranges in ascending order from lowest to highest. Okay, so I'll click on this button and it just arranges my charts for me from highest to lowest. Okay, one more thing I'll be doing is to change the color. Change the color of the bars. If you look, let me take you back to my slide. You can see the theme that I used here. Okay, orange color for my bars. All I need to do to achieve the orange color is simply by clicking on colors here in my marks. Click on color in marks. Click on color. Once you click on color, you'll have a bunch of options you can choose from. You can see the one currently selected. So I'll just choose this orange color here, this second orange color. I'll click on that, and that changes the color of the bars to orange. Okay, that changes the color of the bars to orange. One last thing I'll do before I leave here is to change the title. Can we all see the sheet name, guys? Can you see the sheet name? Can we all see the sheet name? Where you have sheet 2. Can you see that? Can we all see where my mouse is currently? This is the sheet name. So we want to give this a title. Okay, let's call it something like the popular products. Okay, the popular products category. Okay, so to edit this, I'll simply double click on it. I double click on it. Once you double click on it, okay, you see you have sheet name. Okay, you have sheet name, meaning the name of your sheet here is what will appear here. So I'll just change that to popular. I'll just type popular products. Popular products. Popular products as the title. I will highlight it. Okay, highlight it, then give it the format I want. I can change it to Tableau bold. Let me reduce it to 9 or 10. Okay, size 10. Remember, you need to highlight before you effect all these changes. Okay, and click apply and okay. Click on apply to apply whatever changes you've done and click on okay. And that appears as popular products. Okay, how about when you want to change the color for each product? Don't worry. Okay, you can change the color for each product by simply dragging, if you drag products and drop it in colors, to change the colors, to assign a color palette to each of these. But we are not going to be doing that today. All right, so just stick with me. All right, so stick with me what we've done. Okay, where did you get data from? So like I said, Nelly, all you need to do at this point in time is to watch how Tableau works. You'd get a recording provided you fill in the attendance form. I'll share every single thing you need, including the data sets where I'm currently using, the slides. In fact, if you don't have Tableau installed, I'm going to include in my slide. I've included in my slide all the things you need to do to get yours installed as well. So all you need to do now is sit back, fill in the attendance form, and watch me do it. Okay. So I would rename this sheet also. I would rename this sheet. Let's rename it to products. Let's rename it to products analysis. Okay. And I hit enter. So now I'll create another sheet. Let me create another sheet. Okay. Let me create another sheet. Now in this particular sheet, okay, in this particular sheet, I would create the spatial visual. That's the map showing me my sales per region. Okay, sales by region. All right, and how do I do that? Again, Tableau is all about drag and drop. So where I have states here, all I need to do is to drag it and drop it in here. I drag it and drop it in here. Now, when I drag states and drop it in here, because I have already initially told Tableau that, look, that state, that data in that column is not just an ordinary text. They are actually states in the US. It picks up, it detects all the states, and you can see them Michigan, New York, um, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Georgia, and all that. Okay, but it just puts a dot, and that's because those are the states that are contained here. But I want to see my sales per each of these states. How do I do that? Very simple. All I need to do is to come here and drag sales and drop it in colors. I drag sales and drop it in colors. So I'm going to drag sales now and drop it in colors. I'll drag sales and drop it in colors. So once I drag sales and drop in colors, what happens is that the deeper color, you notice that the deeper color is for, sales that are very close to 30,000, while the lighter colors are like this, like North Carolina, are for sales that are closer to 20,000. And this allows you to see, to compare and contrast between each state. But you notice that they are kind of blank. Apart from when I'm hovering on it, then you can see the names of the states. But we would love to see the names of the states placed directly on the map, correct? You'd want to see the names of the states boldly written on the map, correct? Guys, are we together? You want to see the names. So to do that, okay, to do that, fantastic. To do that, all you need to do is very simple. Just like the way, when I came to products, because I wanted to see because because I wanted to see the the amount here. I dragged the sales and I dropped it in label. That allowed me to see it. That's the exact same thing. I'll drag the sales, okay? I'll drag sales and drop it in label. Okay, drag sales and drop it in label. Oh, okay, this shows me my sales. Okay, let me drag it out. This is sales in label. I'll drag it out. That is not the first thing I want to see. The very first thing I want to see is my state, the name of the state. So what I'm supposed to drag is my state. So I'll drag state first and drop it in label. And that shows me California, Texas, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois. You can see all of them there. Okay. Then secondly, I want to, have the sales under the state. I want to have the sales under the state. So all I need to do is to drag sales from here and also drop it in that same label. And then you see sales appear under. You see sales appear underneath here. Can we all see that, guys? Can you see the sales for each state appear under? How would you drag? You simply, do you know how to drag on Twitter? You know how you drag people on Twitter? Do you know how to, do you drag people on Twitter? You know how I used to drag people on Twitter? That's how you drag Tableau. I'm just joking, okay? I'm just joking. How you drag is very simple. Use your mouse. You pin on your mouse, on what you want to drag and then move it. And then when you get to where you want to drop it, you release your mouse and that drops it for you. Okay? Then also add currency. Nelly, fantastic. You are with me. You are absolutely, here with me. So you notice that when you drag and drop in your marks, it shows you what you have dragged and where you dropped it. So this is telling me that in colors, I have sales. In label, I have states. In label also, I have sales rather, and in details, I have states. And these details is because when I dragged my state to the sheet the very first time. So it automatically put it in details where it showed each of the states. If I started dragging all of the other things. So let's put in the dollar sign, like Nelly said, on my sales. So I'll right click on the sales I have in label, which is this one. You can see it here, sales in label. Okay, right click on it. Okay, and click on format. I'll click on format just the way I formatted the sales initially. And then where I have numbers, I click on the drop down and click on currency custom. Click on currency custom. Once I click on currency custom, I then reduce the decimal place to 0 so that I don't have too much information or unnecessary information in my visualization. And then that is that about that. You can see the dollar sign in there. The very next thing is so that this chart matches this particular one. I want to change the color to something orangish. Okay, so how do I do that? All I need to do is to click on color here. Okay, I'll click on color here. Here, click on color and click on edit colors. Click on edit colors. So I'll click on edit colors and this brings me to this place. All I need to do is to click on this color here to change the theme. This is the color theme used for the bar. So I'll click on that and it brings me here. And all I need to do is to look for an orange color. So for the purpose of this class, I'll just pick the nearest color to what I'm using. So this is the orange color. Okay, this is the orange color, and then I click on OK. Okay, I click on OK, then click on apply. Okay, and then OK again, and that applies the color I chose to the map. Somebody's asking, what if it's not a dollar sign? So in your currency, you have options for other currencies, English, that's the pounds. You have so many other currencies there, depending on that you can choose from. Okay, but for today's session, you're building your very first Tableau dashboard. Okay, keep in mind you are building your very first Tableau dashboard. So this is getting you familiar with how Tableau works. Okay, so after having done this, okay, I'll create one last chart. I would not leave here before I'll just say location. I'll call this location analysis. Okay, location analysis. All right, location analysis. And you see that appears here. So if you rename the sheets, okay, if you rename the sheets, that that comes here as well automatically. So I'll just double click on that to edit. Highlight this, change it to Tableau bold. Okay, just as I've been doing before, change it to Tableau bold, change it to 10, apply, and okay. And you have it like this, location analysis. And I'll create another sheet. And this is the final sheet I'll be creating for today before we then bring everything together in a single dashboard. Bring everything together in a single dashboard. But let's do this together. Now, I want to see, let me show you what we're about to create. Where is it? All right, so we've done this, and this as well. So we're about to create this now, this trend, sales trend, okay, from January to July. And all I need to do is very simple to create that. All I need to do is I'll look for dates. This is dates here, okay, dates, and this is where I'll find my date hierarchy, like my month, my month, my day, and all that. So I'll drag dates and drop in rows. Okay, drag dates and drop in rows. And then I'll drag sales and drop in column. Okay, I'll drag sales and drop in column. And all I need to do is for my you can see date is in year now. So I want to see it in months. I want to see it in month rather than year so that I can see a trend from January to July. So all I need to do is to click on this date, click on the drop down. All right, click on the drop down, and you can see currently is in year. Currently is in year. All I need to do is to click on month. I click on month that says May. So I'll click on the month. So once I click on month, you now notice that it says January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and it's showing me a line. Now, this chart is sort of kind of almost inverted. So I want to see, rather than seeing the months from top to bottom, I want to see it from left to right. And then I can see my line above them showing me how, how the trend has gone from January to July. To invert it, instead of manually dragging sales down here, I'm dragging months up here, which is what you'll be inclined to do as a beginner. All you need to do is to use this icon that swaps row and column. Okay, it helps you to swap. Now click on that icon and it swaps it for me, and you see January to July here, and you can see the sale trend. Again, I'll change this to entire view, all right, and then I'll take out this date. I'll take out dates, this label here, dates. I'll take out sales and all that. Okay, right click, hide. Okay, that hides dates. Okay, I'll right click on sales also, and click on show header. So it takes out that takes out the header. Okay, that shows the graduation. So all I need to do now is to use label again to show the exact amount for each of these points on the chart. Okay. Now you notice that somebody's asking what happens between um, June and July. Fantastic. So you can see the sale trend is already telling you what happened. It's answering your question already for you. You can see what happened between January and March and what happened between June and July. Okay, so sales dropped. So, but let's label it. Let's look at the actual amount. To do that, all I need to do is to again, I drag sales. You can drag from here directly and drop in label, or you can use this by holding your control key, hold your control key, drag sale from here and drop in label. And that, puts the sales there for you. Again, you saw how I put in the dollar sign. Very simple, right? Click on this, click on format, change it to currency custom. For the person that was asking, you can see prefix. So you can type in what you want to type in there, and I'll reduce the decimal place to 0, and you can see that here now. The final thing I'll do here is to change the color of the line to orange so that it matches, the rest of my charts. So I'll come back here now, and to change color, what do I click on? In my marks here, what would you say I'll click on to change the color? What should I click on to change the color? Fantastic, color. So it's very intuitive. So click on color and select that same color shade. Okay, and then it changes the color from to that particular color scheme. Then finally, or let me say almost finally, what we'll do is I'll come to sheets. I'll come to sheet 4 here where I have the name of the sheet. I can just change it here first off to say sales trend. Okay, hit enter, and then I come here to format it. Double click on it, highlight, just the way I've been doing it. You know, Tableau bold, changes to 10, click on apply, click on OK, and that is sales trend for me. Now that I have this, I have transactions, I have, okay, my transactions, the title, I don't think I've changed it to this size. So let me change it to this size, the size I used for the other charts so that, okay, don't worry. Let's go ahead with this, okay? Let's just go ahead and, go to the next step. Now, the next step after creating these charts is to bring them together to look something like this, to bring them together in a single dashboard where you can see all of them together. How do I do that? Very simple. All I need to do is you remember the worksheet sign, the worksheet icon to create a new worksheet. Just the next icon is new dashboard, new dashboard, new dashboard. The next icon is new dashboard. And a dashboard is a collection of sheets. It's a place where you can bring all your sheets together in a single place to form a dashboard. So I'll click on new dashboard, click on new dashboard. And when I click on new dashboard, it gives me a blank canvas for me to work with. You can see it says drop sheets here, drop sheets here. And if you look at my left-hand side, you can see sheets, transaction, product analysis, location analysis, and then sales trend. So all I need to do is to drag and drop. So like I said again, I'm saying it for the umpteenth time. Tableau is all about drag and drop. So all I would do is the first thing is let me resize this, this dashboard area. I want it to be instead of this what it is currently, which is about half my screen. I want to increase it to at least, be a bit wider. How do I do that? You notice you have size. You have size here. You have size here. All you need to do is to click on that drop down for size. Beg your pardon, guys. Click on the drop down for size, okay? And then you see range, range. Click on the drop down for range and select fixed size, because you want the size of your dashboard to be fixed. So you can determine what size your dashboard is. So change it to fixed size. Now you have width, you have height. All you need to do is to keep adjusting this until you get something good. So I can change the height to maybe 550, hit enter, and you can see it. This is the height from top to bottom. You can see where it ends now, 550. And then I can change this to maybe 1,000. You can just keep changing, okay? Selecting maybe 110. Let's see 110. Okay, you can see what it looks like. You can see 110, what 110 looks like. Okay, so it's wide enough, and I think this looks good. So I can retain this size 110 by 550. Okay, this looks good. So this is how you just type in the size you want for the width and for the height. So once you have done that, you're one step closer to getting this finished and done with. How do we do that? You see the scroller here. This scroller here, guys. Can we all see this scroller? I want you to look at this scroller. Look at this scroller. Guys, fantastic. I'll scroll down. I'll scroll down because there's something hiding there that I want you to see. And what's that? There are two methods to which you can create um, a dashboard in Tableau. You can use the tiled method or the floating method. The tiled method, is a bit rigid. Okay, is a bit rigid. Okay, and then okay, a lot of questions in the chat. Don't worry, I'll take those questions. Okay. So and then you have floating. Now floating is a lot flexible. It's a lot flexible. It's a lot more flexible than tiled. So I'll show you how to use floating. So in a case where the cases where you use tiled is where you already have maybe like a layout already predetermined. You have a layout. Whenever you want to lay tiles, if you've seen people lay tiles on on to finish the floor, they already have a predetermined um, area where they want to lay the tile, and then they start to lay them. So that's how the tile works also. But because we don't have a predetermined layout, you can just use floating. So I'll click on floating. Click on floating. So floating allows you to position your charts or your sheets anywhere on the dashboard. How does it work? I'll click on floating. Once I click on floating, I'll come to transaction. Go to transactions. I'll drag transaction in here, and you can see how flexible it is moving around. So I can just drop it here. Okay, I'll drop it here. And this is transaction. Let me resize it a bit. Okay, so this is transaction, 200 transactions. So I'll right click on the header, the title. Since I already have transactions here, I have no need of this one here any longer. So I'll right click on the title and click on hide title. So it gives my transaction even more space. Fantastic. And you can see I'm leaving a bit of space up here so that I can put my dashboard title later on at the end of the day. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'll bring in my product analysis. So I'll drag product analysis and drop it just below transactions. Okay, and resize it like this. I'll resize. And you can see popular product just below my transactions. You can see it there. Okay, you can see it like so. So just resize. Okay, so I have popular products. The very next thing I'll do, all right, the very next thing I'll do is now drag location analysis and position it beside popular products and also resize. I resize. And you can see, the location analysis. You can see all the states, just as we saw previously. And finally, I'll bring in sale trend and drop it beside my transaction and also resize. I resize. And you can see the sale trend from January to July. So finally, you have this icon here, this legend. Okay, for this map. This legend is for this map. So showing, that, oh, this darker shade of orange is for the higher values, while the lighter shade is for the lower values. All I need to do is to bring my cursor to this handle that is on top of it, to drag it. And I can drop it here, okay, right on top of the map. Okay, drop it somewhere here so people can see that, oh, this is the label for this is the legend for this map. Okay, I'll reduce this a bit. Right, fantastic. So that it gives me space for my dashboard title. But okay, if you look at this transaction now, look at this transaction. Okay, it's looking a bit, just there. So in order to just give it a bit of, finesse, I'll change the color of the sheet to be a bit orange so that it matches the other chart. So I'll right click on it, click on formats. I'll right click on the sheet area here, click on format. And all I need to do is to click on this bucket sign here on the left-hand side. You can see this paint bucket sign, this icon. Click on that and you see worksheets, white, it's currently white. I'll click on the drop down and maybe just select any color I feel matches, the other one. So I'll just select this one here, okay? And when you come back and click here, you now notice that, it carries kind of color that, matches this color. So finally, let's put in our title, our dashboard title. Let's put in our dashboard title. Let me resize this one more time. Okay, fantastic. So let's put in a dashboard title here. And to do that, all I need to do is to close my format, this format, pane here. I'll close it. Okay, so it brings me back here. And under objects, you notice text. Can we see that? You notice text, text. So text, allows me to write something inside. And all I need to do is to drag and drop it where I want the text to be. So I just release it and then it pops out this telling me, what do you want to write in the text? And what title should we give it, guys? Who can remember the name of the company we're working for today? Who can remember the name of the company we're working for today? Who remembers? Who can remind me? Wants to remind me? Fantastic. Okay, Nelly says Gelco. Okay, Gelco products. Okay, fantastic. So I'll just for Gelco products, or let me say Gelco sales analysis dashboard. Okay, and just like I've been editing other text, highlight again, and you can use Tableau board like I've been using before, Tableau board, and being that this is the dashboard title, I'll use a much larger, title like 20. Okay, 20. Click on OK, and you see Gelco sales analysis. And all I need to do is to resize. Okay, resize it like so. Fantastic. Just resize. Okay, and then you have something like this: Gelco sales, Gelco sales analysis dashboard, and you can put it. I can put it here. You can put it at the center, wherever it is you want to put it. So now, fantastic. So one more thing I'll do is I want that when I, click on a particular chart, okay, it filters the order. So I want to use the chart as filter for the others. How do I do that? Okay, very simple. All I need to do is you see dashboard up here, click on dashboard. Okay, you click on dashboard and you see the options for actions. Actions. I'll click on actions. Now, once you click on action, you see this dialog box pop up. All you need to do is to direct your gaze to add action. Add action. Click on add action. Okay. And yes, I want click on add action and I want filter. So I click on filter. Okay. I click on filter and this pops up. So it means the action I want is a filter action, right? Because I want that when I click on something on my chart, it filters the other charts. So I leave this here and I say, for dashboard one, run action on. It says run action on. So when I select, I'll click select. So when I select, I want the filter to happen. When I select, I want filtering to happen. And when I deselect it, that's clearing the selection wheel, show all values. Okay, I don't want it to keep filtered values. I want it to show all values. Okay, and all I need to do afterwards is to click on OK. Click on OK, right? So I think this is the second time I clicked on it. Um, okay, so after clicking on OK, you can see it there. Filter, select, dashboard one, all, and I click on OK. Now, if I click on books, for example, it filters the other charts to show me the information for books. You can see books has 49 transactions. You can see the trend of sales for books alone from January to July. If I click on electronics, you see it changes 43 transactions. You can see the trend of sales for electronics. If I click on home appliances, you can see the trend. Okay, and if you look closely at the map, you see them changing also, showing which states Texas sold more of. Texas sold, you know, um, more of sporting goods, than any other state, and you can see the trend as well. So this makes your chart interactive, so people can work with this. Okay, 49 transactions. You can see the breakdown of all the transactions. You can see the total transaction for books alone here. If you sum up all this now, you'd get this here. So this is how you can create your first simple Tableau dashboard and make it as interactive as possible. So you can see now that I've selected books. If I want to deselect books to show me everything, I'll just click on books again, and that shows me, the original data showing all my transactions. So guys, have you learned something today? Have you learned something today? Have you learned something today? Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great, great. Um, so I'll share a link in the chat. Let me hear from you. Okay. Okay, I know you joined late, but I'll share a link in the chat just like I shared the other time. And let's see if you really um, enjoyed today's session. Okay. Okay, so I want you guys to vote. Let's see. I want you guys to vote. Let's see. Okay, so the score is at 9.5. So let's vote, let's vote, let's vote. Did you enjoy today's session? 9.7. Let's keep it up. So, okay, view results. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue voting. Let's continue voting. Did you enjoy the dashboard? Let's vote. Let's vote. Did you enjoy the dashboard? Okay, yes, fantastic. So I've put the link in the chat. I'll put it again so that you can vote. Okay, I'll put it again so that you can vote. Okay, fantastic. So let's keep voting. Okay, I think 12 people have voted. Okay, so 12 people have voted. Is currently on 9.5. Fantastic. Okay, great. So let's keep voting. Let's see. Okay, 17 people have voted. Vote, vote, 19 people, 9.6. Votes, still on 9.6. 23 people, 9.6. Fantastic. Great. 9.7, 23 people, 24%. Fantastic one, guys. So I really enjoyed myself as well. Okay, I really, really enjoyed myself. So I'll leave the poll open so you can vote. Continue voting. I'll leave the poll open while I walk you through on how you can also get these skills. I mean, I think last month I was fixing a friend's GLE. Okay, do you know the car called GLE? You would know the Mercedes called GLE. So it has a Mercedes GLE formatting, and I was fixing the vehicle using my computer. That was how deep I went into, mechanical engineering back then. But here I am, okay, walking you through on how to use Tableau. Okay, so how can you also, transition into the tech space, into becoming a data analyst? And you using tools like Tableau. Somebody was asking, is Power BI obsolete? It's never obsolete. Okay, so Power BI is just one of the tools you'd also learn in our data analytics program. And let me walk you through that specific aspect. So we've gone ahead to, build the dashboard. So keep voting while, I do the rest of the presentation. We built this together now in Tableau. You saw it a moment ago in Tableau. So, okay, fantastic. So you notice that I also put in the data set, so you can download the data set and work with it at your own leisure. But why do you want to become a data analyst? So why, if you want to become a data analyst, why would you want to become a data analyst? Is there another tool to be used aside Tableau? Don't worry, your questions will be answered in this slide, okay? So I want you to type in the chat, why do you want to become a data analyst? Why do you want to become a data analyst? So somebody's asking online publishing. So, all right, so let me just quickly show you that. Okay, so that you can cap that up. So once you're done doing this, all you need to do is to click on save, right? Click on save, or you click on file, and you can click on save or save to Tableau public. So this version of Tableau is also the free version. You can click on save, and that saves to your local drive. So before you couldn't you couldn't save like this. So you can save it as Gelco Tableau reports. Okay, Gelco Tableau reports, and click on save. Or you can click on, when you click on file, you can click on, when you click on file, you can click on save to Tableau public. So that would, publish it to Tableau public, but you need to sign in using the credentials you created when you were downloading Tableau to start with. So that is that about, you saving your work. Okay. So that is that about that. I'm just gonna cancel that so that we can move on. So that I can also answer some of the questions that you've asked. Okay, I wouldn't want to keep you guys too much. Okay, I can see people to advance my career. Somebody says to explore opportunities in the tech industry. Nobody's saying because of the money. There is money in tech, guys. Okay, I joined, I pivoted, or let me say transitioned into tech because of the money. Okay, and one other thing that made me also transition was the fact that being a data analyst will put you at the helms of affairs. So you'll be operating with the top guys within your organization. Okay, so you're very important within any industry that you find yourself in. So, but the question is, how do you become a data analyst? How do you become a data analyst? And the answer is very simple. Okay, a data analyst, first off, is someone summarizes data. What we did was to summarize data. Okay, was to summarize data. Now, all the questions you're asking in the chat, if you listen to my next few presentation within the next 30 minutes, we'll be done. Okay, and I'll answer your questions even while I'm presenting, because the answer to your questions are here. So let me continue. So the data analyst is somebody who summarizes data, right? Just like the way we've done together. And you'll be dealing with technical and non-technical stakeholders. So you want to make your dashboard as intuitive as possible, just like the way we did when we clicked on books and every other thing filtered, showing me the information for books. You want to be able to, share something as intuitive as possible to your stakeholders to, help them summarize the data so they are able to make decisions based on the reports that you built. And what you'll be doing predominantly as a data analyst is descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Descriptive is what we just did today. We are telling a story using the data. Okay, so 200 rows of data, we're able to summarize it to show exactly what happened. Now, diagnostic analysis would have been a further analysis. Somebody asked, I think that was Nelly, if I'm correct, was asking that, oh, what happened between June and July, where there was a drop in sales? You can isolate that part of the data and do a further analysis to answer that question, why it happened. And by so doing, you would have done what we called diagnostic analytics. And as a data analyst, on an average in the UK, you earn over £40,000. Average, not the highest, not the lowest, guys. Over £40,000. In Canada, you're looking at over £64,000. And in the US, you're looking at over 70,000 US dollars. I beg your pardon, I said pounds for Canada. In Canada, you're looking at over 64,000 Canadian dollars. I beg your pardon. So that's the average you're looking at. To become a data analyst, what you actually need to learn is first problem solve. Understand the problem you are to solve. Okay? Understand the problem that you have to solve, and you learn all the other things under it. You start with Excel. Excel is one of the fundamental tools you need as a data analyst. You can't call yourself a data analyst without knowing Excel. Somebody said Power BI. Is Power BI obsolete? Capital no. Power BI is one of the sought after tools that you need to get into the tech space, especially when you want to become a data analyst. Of course, you need to learn how to use Power BI. On top of that, there's something we call SQL. SQL, structured query language. You get to work with organizations that store their data somewhere, just the way you store your data, you store your water in your overhead tank. Okay, you store water in the overhead tank. A plumber will do that for you. Okay, and whenever you need water, all you need to do is to go to where it is that you need it. Switch on your tap, and you see water coming out. And that's because everything is all connected to the storage system. So an organization also has something like that, where they store data. Okay, only that this is digital. So it stores your data for you as an organization, and you as a data analyst need to have the skill to be able to extract data from the data source. Talking about that skill, I'm talking about SQL. SQL, okay? SQL. SQL is that language you need to understand to interact with databases, to extract data from them, and it's super easy to learn, all right? Why is it easy? Because it mimics your natural language. You say things like select, or I want to select so-and-so column, and it gives you, or I want this column from this table, and it gives you, and that's how you write queries. Then you need to learn Power BI. Power BI is a powerful tool, powerful business intelligence tool that allows you to do very similar stuff as Tableau, which what we use Tableau to do today. You can automate your reports, using Power BI. Okay, and we've added Power BI to the training program alongside with Tableau, because what we've noticed is that recruiters have now started to look for one of the two, either Power BI or Tableau. They require you to know just one of both. So you knowing both, joining our program and you learn both, puts you at that pedestal that projects you as a top talent anywhere you go, in front of any recruiter across the globe. To learn the two, Power BI and Tableau. You'd also learn data storytelling. Very important. Very, very important. What is data storytelling? You need to be able to communicate with your report. You're not building your report for yourself. You are building it for stakeholders, your CEO, your COO, and they might be technical in nature or non-technical stakeholders. And your report needs to cater for all of them. So how do you ensure that you convey your message at the end of the day? Data storytelling will allow you to. Okay, so it is data storytelling that allows you to create a report, and somebody who was not even aware of you embarking on such a project would see your final results and understand you perfectly and your message. Okay, on top of this, you get to learn ChatGPT for analytics. We are slowly and steadily moving. In fact, welcome to the world of AI. Okay, so I'm welcoming you to the world of AI. So we are moving into the world of AI, and you need to start to get yourself acquainted with AI tools, especially ChatGPT. All right. Recruiters have started to look for people, tech professionals who know how to interact and make sense of information ChatGPT gives. So how do you use ChatGPT to increase your productivity at work, or use it also as a learning tool? You learn how to do that with us here at Analytics. And I call this the icing of the cake, Microsoft Fabric for Analytics. Microsoft Fabric is a new platform created by is a new platform created by Microsoft, and it's a one-stop shop for data professionals as a whole, and it's used by enterprises to be able to, gather everything regarding analytics in one place. Data engineers, data analysts, data scientists can all collaborate with this platform. So you learn how to use it as a data analyst. All right, you learn how to use it as a data analyst here with us at Analytics. And then keep in mind your program, okay, this learning timeline I have here is the very next slide that I have. So you'll be learning for 4 months. You have 3 months of live classes, okay, followed by 1 month of growth internship to further, increase boost your profile, okay. And we have classes suited for, people in Africa, in Europe, in the UK, you know, at 11 a.m. West African time to 2 p.m. West African time. So if you're located somewhere in the UK, in Europe, in West Africa, that is the time well suited for you on Saturday. Then for those in in Canada, in US, somewhere around North America, you want to attend the classes that take place 6 p.m. what to 9 p.m. West African time. That's around 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And your classes happen on Saturdays. And on Sundays, you have what we call your self-paced watch me do it video. And these videos, is what has been our game changer here at Analytics. So because we want you to learn from the experiences of these astute professionals that we bring on board, you need to have some prior knowledge. Talking about prior knowledge, the self-paced watch me do it video that we give you on Sundays would serve as that prior knowledge, preparing you for your next class on Saturday. When you come on board on Saturday, you would then, under the guidance of an instructor who is a professional data analyst, you would work with solving a real life, a real world problem in class on Saturdays. So very also important that you watch your self-paced watch me do it video. And all of this would open up so many opportunities for you as with these skills. Not only data analyst roles will be open to you, you'd also be open to roles like supply chain analyst, BI analyst, sales analyst, product analyst, marketing analyst, operations analyst, and the list goes on and on. This is just a few of them. You can apply to all of these roles with that same skill set. All right. And just like I said earlier, it's a 4 months program where you have 3 months of live classes. The classes will hold on Saturdays, live classes will hold on Saturdays, and on Sundays you get what we call the watch date videos, which I explained earlier. Short, bite-sized videos that introduce you to certain aspects that you need to understand. Um, that you need to understand to get, to take part in the class. So, and on top of this is not just all, because becoming a data analyst is not just about you knowing Tableau, being the best at Tableau, or you want to be 100% in Excel, 100% in Power BI. It's far from that. That would not land you a job alone. So what we have also added to that, to all of those things that I have mentioned earlier, is a 3-layered approach that we take here at Analytics to get you positioned for the job. Part of the first layer, which I'll call level 1 for this presentation, is we review your CV for you. We'll first review your CV because your CV walks into the organization before you even get an interview. Your CV goes there. So how do you ensure your CV represents you the best way possible that gives you that chance to get an interview at the end of the day? Your LinkedIn also serves as a social proof. Go to my LinkedIn, just type Mohammed Suleiman, okay, on LinkedIn. You can type, there are a lot of Mohammed Suleimans on LinkedIn. So you could type Mohammed Suleiman Analytics and you'd see me on, okay? And you can go through my profile, right? So you also need to have something that looks like that as a social proof. So recruiters can, see that, look, you are who you say you are. You have social proof. Show your workings, okay? We help you optimize your LinkedIn page to look like that. If you don't have one, we show you how to create one. We don't stop there. Upwork optimization. You would create an Upwork. if you don't have one. And this platform allows you to do freelance. I do a lot of it. In fact, my very first tech role was in Upwork. Okay, so but what strategies do you need to put in place to be able to land a role on Upwork? Some of us here might already have Upwork accounts, but you have never gotten a gig before. Okay, what do you need to know to get that your first gig on Upwork? We'll let you know. We also help you navigate the job market regardless of your location, whether in Africa or you're in the diaspora, you're somewhere in the UK, in the US, or in Canada. The how to navigate the job market is varies depending on your location. So we'll show you how to do that. Okay. You also have job interview preps. I prepared Ikmat. I showed you a picture earlier. Yeah, I prepared her for the interview. She got the job. You would have access to that also when you start. And then we also offer recommendation letters for you to ensure that you're able to secure the role after you've been given an offer. Recruiters want someone to vouch for you. So we here at Analytics will do that on your behalf. And we've done this, so many participants, and this has helped them, land the role at the end of the day. In level 2, we have our weekly mentorship sessions. Week on week, we bring on board professionals like myself, founders of Analytics, that would tell you, after applying all of this and you're not getting results, we'll show you the reasons why. And you can always readjust and always stay motivated. Okay, week on week. And then you also have on-the-job support when, after you've gotten a job, we support you for about 1 month into the job to ensure that you settle in perfectly, and then you can finally take it up from there. And for year 2024, we brought up level 3, which is guaranteeing you one job interview 1 month after completing your training program. Okay, and I'll just talk a bit about the internship. All right, the internship is fully packed. It's a free 1 month internship, okay, that allows you to add to your projects that you've already built during the 3 month training program. And this is where you get to do a lot of presentations to add to what you've already done within the program, okay? And you'll also be able to add this to your CV, to your profile, further boosting your portfolio for you, okay? It boosts your confidence, boost your portfolio. So would assign you to a professional where and a group where you work on projects, and you would also do a whole lot of presentation, which is one of the skills you need to own as a data analyst. Now, we're adding 3 new things. Okay, I'm coming to the prize very shortly. Just stick with me for a couple of minutes and see you see the answer to your questions. Okay, like I said, I'm sure I've answered some already. For 2024, some of the things we are adding across board, okay, across board, including I'm talking about all of the programs that we offer, okay, is what we call body mentorship. Now, somebody like Ikmat, who I prepared for an interview, got in a job, and so many other participants who have gotten a job here with us as Analytics, we bring them back for you to ask questions, and they tell you exactly how they were able to go about it. So you hear from the horse's mouth yourself, and you have the opportunity to ask them those burning questions. Oh, how did you do it? Did you use one CV to apply? How did you tailor it? Oh, I'm in UK. Oh, I'm in Canada. Since you're in Canada, could you tell me exactly how my CV should look like? All those burning questions that you always have, you get to ask them, and they'll be your buddies to walk you through, to help you accelerate your own, journey as well. We've also increased the time frame for some of our internships. And one of the things we are bringing on board also is partnerships with some recruitment agencies across the globe, including the UK, Canada, as well as Africa. All right. Why are we doing this? In as much as here at Analytics, we urge you to always apply to jobs. We also want to bring the jobs closer to you. Right. So when you join us, you get the opportunity, to be recommended to some of these recruitment agencies. Okay, and for you, you'll be asking, oh, how do you join our next program starting in the 8th of June? To join our next program starting in the 8th of June, we currently have an early bird discount for the first 30 people on this call to register. Okay, for the first 30 people to register, we have a discount currently running for our data analytics program. All right, our discounted price is, and that's a 20% discount. So the normal price is about $750. Okay, if you're paying in dollars, but the discounted price is $600. And when you opt for this discounted price, you can do that in 2 installments. You can do it in 2 installments. $400 to get yourself registered for the program, secure your spot, and then you pay the second installment 1 month after the training program. Okay, and you can see the breakdown for all the other currency options. If you're paying in pounds, you pay £500, and you can do that in 2 installments. £350 to register, £150 to 1 month after the training programs. You can also pay in euros. Okay, if you're paying in euros, you can pay €400 to get yourself registered, secure your seat, join the program. Then 1 month after the program starts, you can balance up with €180. If you're paying in Canadian dollars, you can see the breakdown, 900 Canadian dollars, and you pay that in 2 installments, 600 Canadian dollars to get yourself registered, and 300 Canadian dollars 1 month after the program commences. And if you're paying in Naira, if you pay 720,000 naira and you do that in 2 installments, 500,000 naira for you to get yourself registered, and 220,000 naira 1 month after the training program commences. Okay, and I'll show you how you can enroll. You enroll using this main stack link, and that would be in the chat right about now. My colleague has just put it in the chat, and all you need to do is to pick up the link. You can do a direct bank transfer depending on your location and the currency you're using, or you can click on the main stack link, and I'll do that right about now. I'll show you how to do that. Now, once you click on the link, okay, you click on the main stack link, it brings you to this page. It brings you to this page. Okay, so it's loading now. It brings you to this page, Analytics Enrollment Center. And all you need to do is to scroll down. Okay, scroll down. That's the breakdown for okay. Okay, fantastic. So, and that's the breakdown for this particular all the training programs that we offer. All you need to do is to go and look for data analytics. Data analytics, that's the program you want to register for. Okay, if that's the program you want to register for, click on data analytics, select data analytics, and it takes you to very next page. Now, on the very next page, all you need to do is to reserve a seat. So take, for example, you're paying in Naira. Okay, you're paying in Naira, and this will pop up, depending on your location or your last location. All right. Okay, great. So all you need to do is you can, if you want to pay the full amount, you're paying the full amount. For Uchechi, okay, so Uchechi is saying that you can handle paying gradually. For example, if you're like Uchechi, you want to pay gradually. Okay, since the program starts June 8th, what you can do, you see, in as much as we've said that the very first payment is 500,000 naira, you can pay now, today, a minimum of 400,000 naira. So let's say I have 400,000 naira. Okay, I type in 400,000, and that can allow me reserve my seat. Okay, all I need to do is, after making this payment, on June 8th, I'll balance up the 100,000 naira that allows me to complete that first installment, installment to get myself registered. Then 1 month after the training program, can then balance up again. So by so doing, you would have even splitted it into 3 installments. Okay, and you can only do that if you are taking the discounted price. For the for the non-discounted price, you pay that in full amount. So I'll just type in my full name, type in my email address, type in my phone number and click on proceed. All right, click on proceed. And all I need to do here is, type in my card details. You can see the amount, paying here. So that's the minimum amount you can pay as of today. All right. So, for someone like Uchechi, you can also send us an email, okay, to inquiries, okay, to inquiries at tenalytics.org. My colleague would put that email in there so that you can send us an email. Let's see how we can work with you specifically to see how we can work it out. Okay, so type in your card details, and all you need to do is to make payments. Now you take a screenshot of the payment confirmation page. You take a screenshot of that, and you come back to the Tenalytics Enrollment Center, and you scroll back up, and you see upload your receipt. Upload your receipt. Click on upload your receipt. Click on upload your receipt. And what you want to do is you fill in the form, enter in your email. Okay. Enter in your email, mohammed@analytics.org. Click on next. And then the payment type, if you made the full payment, click on full payment. If you made, your initial payment, click on initial payment, which is the first installment, and click on next. Okay, click on next. And then all you need to do is you see that there's a notice here that this is when you need to make the balance payment. And this is 1 month into the training program itself. All right. So all you need to do here is to click on yes and click on next. And then you see that you've qualified for the 20% discount currently. And all you need to do is click on next. Okay, click on next. Ensure to read the terms and conditions. Click on yes, and click on next. Once you click on next, specify the date when you made payment, and then upload the receipts. Upload your payment receipt. Okay, upload your payment receipt, and select the mode of payment that you used to make the payment, and just click on next. And it's next from there, and you would have completed the registration form. So after this, all you need to do is to sit back and wait. Would send you, after confirming your payment, would send you a welcome kit, and that gets you prepared before class. You'd also have an onboarding session, okay, which will be your very first live contact with us after registering. We'll tell you all you need to do to get yourself to get the best out of the program. Okay, on Tuesdays, um, we have a session called the clarity session, where if you have any more questions that we've not thrashed out today, okay, all you need to do is um, keep that date, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. and at 11 p.m. We have clarity sessions. You can pick any of the two to join, and get yourself in touch with an expert from within our team, and you get all your questions answered. So that session is specifically for Q&A. Okay, so keep that date, Tuesdays, 2 p.m. or 11 p.m. Okay, so and that is how you get yourself enrolled for the training program. Now, it always seems impossible until you actually get it done yourself. And some of these people have done this. You saw this young man, Akintola, speak about his own experience. If you were around at the beginning of the session, okay, one of the videos that was played before the session started earlier today. So this is Ikmat. This is Ramat. This is Temi. Ikmat was a full-time stay-at-home mom. like I said, she stayed. I could play the video for you, okay? But I wouldn't want to waste your time doing that. What I'll do is I'll give you this slide. You get the opportunity to watch every single one of them yourself. Okay. Again, do well to fill in the attendance form in the chat. The link is in the chat. Fill in the attendance form so you get access to all the materials, including this slide, the data set we use, and even Tableau, how to install Tableau will be included in the slide. And all you need to do is to go ahead and install it, and you'll be able to do what I've done today at your leisure time. So there are tons and tons of them. In fact, you need to go to our, YouTube page as well, to see for yourself, our YouTube page, our Instagram handle. Go there and see for yourself how we've been able to, help quite a number of people get into the space themselves. You hear from them. So if you are still looking for a reason to join us, I'll give you more. Let me give you more. One of the things that we do differently than others is that our curriculum is up to date. So we always update our curriculum as the industry demands, so that each time you are getting out there, you are as relevant as any data analyst can possibly can be. All right. So you're as relevant as any data analyst can possibly be, because we have up-to-date curriculums and you're going to be dealing with industry experts who actually work as data analysts like myself, and some other professionals we have in-house. And we've blended the training program in such a way that you are not having all live classes. It's a blend between both live classes and your self-paced watch me do it videos, which you watch before, your next class on Sundays. All right. And then it's you have additional employability services, which I mentioned earlier, your CV review sessions, your LinkedIn optimization, your Upwork optimization, um, we writing recommendation letters for you, and many more, your interview preps, your job support, and all that. And you also have internship, which is very pivotal in you also testing your skills after you've learned with us. And all that would, ensure that you are industry ready to take on tech and data analytics as a whole. All right. So remember that only the first 20 persons, sorry, the first 30 people, I beg your pardon, okay, would be eligible for the discount running. Okay. There are more testimonials that you can go through. Like I said, I'll share the slides with you. And in your own at your own convenience, go through all of these slides in detail, okay, for you to be able to at the end of the day, see exactly what we've done so far and what you stand to gain. So the question now is to you: are you ready to join us so you can gain premium tech skills? So I'll leave that to you to answer. As I take I'll take a couple of questions. I'll take two questions for today to wrap up the session. All right. You can either type it in the chat or use the raise hand icon so I can ask you to unmute. Either use the raise hand icon or you type your question in the chat. I'll take two questions today. And like I said, we also have, please share the attendance form. Okay, so Lydia at Analytics would put that in the chat anytime now, and you can be able to fill it in. That's Benson. So you have a question, please put it in the chat now or use the raise hand icon. I'll ask you to unmute and you can ask your question. I'll take two questions for today. And during our clarity session on Tuesdays, that's predominantly for questions. Okay. And you can join that session, meet myself, meet my team members as well. We'd love to take your questions. So questions. Where are the questions? Anybody? Please, is this class for financial analysis too? So the program for today that we discussed is data analytics. But if you go to our website, you see the main stack link for enrollment. This one that I shared. Okay, I'll share it again. I'll share it again. So that's the link. If you click on the link, it brings you here. You can, look at all our program brochures here. If you click on this link, get access to all our program brochures. That gives you access to all our program brochures, including financial analysis that you asked for. So you can go through it. But today's session, what we've discussed is the data analytics program. All right. I hope that answers a question. I hope that answers a question. That's yeah. So we have separate classes for financial analysis. So we even I've taken financial analysis classes also in the past, and we have some lined up. So just ensure, I'm sure you'll be part of our community, our WhatsApp community. So all our sessions are also the links are also put in there, and ensure you fill in the attendance form. So from today onward, you don't miss any of our sessions. So including the financial analysis session, you can always attend that as well. So I hope I've been able to answer that question. Any other question? Any other question before we call it a day? Okay, Khadija is asking, is business analysis same as data analysis? The answer is no. The answer is no. Now, let me tell you the difference. Okay. Now, the difference is this. A data analyst, the job of a data analyst is what we've done today. And what have we done? Picked up a data set belonging to an organization and we summarized it into a chart. Summarized it into a chart. I showed you earlier. We summarized the data into a chart. Okay, a group of charts, put them together in a dashboard, and we're able to do that. So that's your job as a data analyst. Okay, you'd always describe or diagnose using data. You summarize the data, and then that's what you do as a data analyst. As a business analyst, your job is to solve process-related problems within an organization. How do you do that? You go into an organization, as a business analyst, and then you look for loopholes. You look for loopholes in their processes. Okay? And what you're going to do is you would be the one to spearhead a team that would build a solution to solve that problem. Take, for example, an organization like Jumia is having issues, with delivery. So they have very huge delivery time. So you would go into that organization as a business analyst, look for what causes or what's causing the increase in delivery time, and if it's something around logistics, and you need to create sort of like a solution, like an application that would streamline their logistics process, you would be the one to head a team. You won't write code. You would head a team of technical professionals like web developers, application developers, and all that. You lead them to build that. So you'd gather the requirements from the stakeholders who would be using the application, and you communicate those requirements to your team. Your team will then, develop a solution which you would, oversee and ensure that there's transparency between both parties, the stakeholders and your technical team. So you are there to ensure that transparency as a business analyst, and that's how you are different from a data analyst. Okay, ITEL A632W. Can you unmute and speak? Ask your question. I'll take your question and Benson's question before then we'll call it a day. So ITEL, your hand is up. ITEL A632W. All right, can anyone hear ITEL? I really can't hear anything. Can anyone hear ITEL? Just type in yes or no in the chat, depending on what. Okay, no. All right. So I'll just go ahead and take Benson's question. I'm a HR professional, but I want to be competent in both data and business analysis from the HR point of view. Which of the courses should I focus on? That's the question. So, as a HR professional, there is a career path called HR analysis. And you having the HR experience can, serve as a leverage for you in that space. Last year, I taught some HR professionals across board, they had a combined, experience of a century. That's about 100 years of experience spread across about 7 professionals. And I show them how to use analytics in the HR space to streamline their HR processes. So you want to look at programs like HR analytics. Okay, but to give you more insight into your question, okay, I would love you to save save that date on Tuesday, so we can communicate in detail. So that session would not be like this, where we're doing something practical. It's for you to ask your question in details. Okay, but you want to look at just straight off the bat from what you've said. You want to look at training programs like the HR analysis, which we also have on board. So HR analysis is just combining data analytics to HR. So there, even if you're a beginner without any HR experience prior, you can still register for the HR analysis. You learn data analytics and also learn some HR frameworks as well. So I hope that answers your question, um, Benson. Okay, so this is where we will be calling it a day. I truly and truly enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself as well, and you learned one or two things from today's session. So I would love to see each and every one of you on board come the 8th of June. Take advantage of the discount, okay, so that you don't get left behind. So cheers, guys, and we will meet again. Cheers.